Hi ho, everyone. Kermit the Frog. Just kidding. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Throwing Partners.
Oh
I'm
my
your
God, that
host,
was good.
Brian Caprino. With me, as always, is my throwing partner, Chris Collins. Chris, how are you today? It's Friday.
Good. It is Friday. Hopefully, everybody's having a lovely Friday. Lots to talk about in the sports world, especially with the NFL. So I can't wait to talk about that. But I see you're rocking a Lakers jersey. Congrats on a great win against Milwaukee.
8-0 on the road this season. I got my Pau Gasol jersey on. Picked this up in 2012, 11.
When they won it.
When they won it. For like $20 at a store that was going out of business. So
there you go.
Great pickup.
It's authentic, so
it is. It's like authentic. The old Adidas, everything's stitched on. It's really great. So
right on. We'll dive right into it, Brian. Take us away.
Well, we're starting off with MLB news. More of sad news today. All-time home run leader. I'm saying all-time because Barry Bonds is above him, and we all know about that. Hank Aaron passed away today at the age of 86. So pretty sad news. He was a legend, an icon, went through a lot of adversity when he was playing with the Braves, started with Milwaukee, then went to Atlanta as a black man playing in the South. And as his numbers were getting more and more closer towards passing Babe Ruth's record for 714 home runs, he got a lot of hate mail, a lot of death threats. Not just him, but his family had to deal with it too. His kids had to be put in different schools. His daughter was in college at the time, couldn't even leave her dorm because people didn't want a black man taking over Babe Ruth's record, which is sad. Which is also still sad because considering like that's still a thing now, and that was in 1974. So
it's he honestly, like I mean, me and you were both too young to see him play, of course. Which looking at just like reels of film and everything and watching him play, it's just like, you can compare him to Jackie Robinson and for what he's done for the game of baseball and for just America in general. And going through so much.
Jackie, there's no Hank Aaron.
Yeah, exactly. And Jackie led it, and then Hank Aaron, kept following his footsteps and drew it even further, drew the line in the sand further. So they, to this day, I know it's not a perfect world, but Hank Aaron and Jackie Robinson both have done so much, not only for the sports world, but just for the world in diversity and everything like that, and how to come together as one. Just like a Jackie Moon, Will Ferrell quote, ELE, everybody love everybody.
Yep.
And, it's a really sad day for him, a legend, Hall of Famer, everything. What he did on and off the field, he's passed away. And, 2021 is not supposed to start off like this. And hopefully it doesn't end like this with somebody else that is great to,
like baseball, like losing baseball people, like I know like people are lost every day, but like I don't know, when you're like a fan of the sport, like it really hurts. Like I know we lost Tommy Lasorda. Baseball World a few days ago lost Don Sutton.
Yep.
Also a Hall of Famer with the Dodgers. So just a week. But like
it's put a sour note on my day. I will say that. It definitely has, and it will for a while. But with that, I want to say also that MLB, I know we were talking about it, MLB should retire Roberto Clemente and Hank Aaron's jersey for all they've done, not just on the field, but off the field as well. Because, I know Jackie Robinson's number is officially retired, and he's the only one. I think those two definitely are well-deserved to also be like that.
Yes.
So
I agree, especially with Roberto. Like, if you get a chance, don't even just look at his baseball reference page. Just look at his Wikipedia and like what he did as a humanitarian. I agree. Retire those numbers because we're never going to see the likes of those again. Yeah. I know getting awards named after you is one thing, but I think it's a big deal when no one else can wear your number again just because the impact you had on and off the field. Yep. So R.I.P. Hank Aaron.
Yep. But with that, I will say, condolences to his family and everything like that. And, I hope they live a very happy and successful life like they always had. And I'm pretty sure Hank would want them to do the same thing. So,
Yeah.
But with that, let's get into some other news. Let's kick it up a little bit here. You know, we're on a sour note, but there's a lot of changes in the NFL. So Brian, go ahead and tell us what we're gonna lead into here.
We're gonna lead into first off, we're gonna get to pick'ems later on in NFL talk, but we're gonna start off. There were hirings this week with NFL coaches, offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators. So Chris, start us off. You're the eye-opening hires.
Eye-opening hires? Okay, I will say this. I think Arthur Smith for Atlanta is probably the most surprising one from being a Tennessee offensive coordinator there recently. Had great success in Tennessee. But I just didn't think he was going to get a head coaching job in Atlanta. I thought he was going to the Jets, but then Robert Saleh took that. I mean, Robert Saleh's got a lot on his plate, but he's a very hype man. I mean, we all saw that with San Francisco and how he was so intense on the sidelines with his defense and everything like that. So I think, you know, the Jets got a good coach, and nothing to you know, kind of knock down on Arthur Smith, but like Atlanta is in shambles a little bit. They don't know what direction they're going in. They have players, then they have older players, and then they don't know. They're always injury prone and everything like that. So Arthur Smith's going to have a lot to handle in Atlanta. I think he'll do well, but I don't think they're playoff bound. And that is my surprise. Along with that, I would say Brandon. Oh my God, I can't think of his name. Staley for the Chargers. Super random pick. It's the Chargers being the Chargers. I'm sorry if you're a Chargers fan. Hopefully you're a San Diego Chargers fan, because I think that had better success than LA has had. But if you're a Chargers fan, they were so quick to hire him. And I don't know who else they interviewed. I think it was like the first man they interviewed was like, "You're hired. That's good. Let's do that." And then, you know, they missed out on a lot of good coaches. And I don't know. And then like hearing Dan Campbell is the new head coach for Detroit, which I think he's going to be a good coach, but his interview, like his press conference for his introduction of being a coach for 6 years in Detroit, is a little weird. And quote unquote, they're going to bite your kneecaps off, both kneecaps, and then they're going to take another bite out of you, according to him. And I don't think that's allowed in football. Whether or not you can even do that through your face mask, I think it's impossible. So a lot of interesting coaching hires. Urban Meyer, I thought, was a given. I mean, we called it going to Jacksonville. He'll have success there. He'll draft Trevor Lawrence. He'll be fine there. I do have somewhat of a request. Somebody I know, me and him got in a bickering conversation of who's going to be the most successful Alabama quarterback in the NFL. I mean, Jalen Hurts technically transferred to Oklahoma his senior year, but he is still he played at Alabama, right? So you have Jalen Hurts, Mac Jones getting drafted this year, and then you have Tua in Miami. And he kept on telling me, you know, Tua is going to have the most success, and he says Mac is going to have the most success. Sorry. And then Tua, then Jalen. I think Jalen is going to have the most success just because of how diverse, like, you know, he can run. So could Tua. But I think Jalen Hurts is an injury prone like Tua is. I mean, Tua is coming off of a really bad injury. And you could tell during the season he wasn't completely healthy. Like he couldn't run like he wanted to. So hopefully he gets better that offseason. But I think Jalen Hurts is going to take the cake on that one for Alabama quarterbacks, even though Mac Jones is going to be I think he's going to be good. It just depends on what team he gets drafted by.
Yeah. So speaking of Jalen Hurts, Eagles hired Nick Sirianni, the Colts' old offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
What do you think of that and how he fits with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, or Carson Wentz, however you want to do it? Like,
I can honestly say for Philly fans, it can't get any worse. it can't get any worse than what the year you had last year. So I think anything is better than last year. So, but still, like we said before, Carson Wentz needs to get just like, it's either you bench him or you get rid of him. You can't play him. the numbers that he did when he played are just horrendous, and it's just bad for the team.
Yeah.
So rip off the C, like you said, it doesn't stand for Carson Wentz. So
stands for captain, and he's not one.
He's not. He's not. He really is not. And he went from, everybody's like, he's the future. He's the future. Well, you thought of the wrong future. You should have picked Nick Foles, and went with that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Eagles are going to face pretty crazy next few years, so we'll see how that goes. Also, a quick note: Dwayne Haskins dropped by Washington football team. Pittsburgh picks him up, so they got another backup QB. Unless
I don't know if he's going to be backup.
They think Ben's not. I don't know where that leaves Ben. And then
here's my thing on that, really quick. Sorry, I'm going to let you take it away though. To me, I think Ben's going to get benched halfway through the season next year.
You think so?
I think so. I think it's time for Pittsburgh to move on from the era of Big Ben. You have Dwayne Haskins there, who's very young. He's only been in the league for 2 seasons. I know off the field, he's kind of a distraction and doesn't make great choices. And like he said in his speech before, he's acknowledged that he needs to work on himself and everything like that. So Pittsburgh sees something in that, and maybe he can change everything around and, do what he did in Ohio State and be that top caliber quarterback. But in order for Pittsburgh to see that, you got to play him. And the only way you're going to play him is if you bench Big Ben. So I see that happening.
Yeah. What about Mason Rudolph? Where does that leave him?
You also got, what's his name? Duck Hodges. He's there too. I think it's going to be a battle. That's the thing. Mike Tomlin's going to have a battle on his hands. And you know what? I think it's going to be just ruthless in practice. I think it's going to get there's going to be heated moments, not like, trash talking or anything like that. It's going to be like,
it's going to be competitive.
It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a shootout in performances, and it's going to be really fun to watch for Mike Tomlin and the rest of the coaches there. And if you're in Pittsburgh, I would be excited because you have now a plethora of youth at that position that has been aged throughout time and has been one of the greatest things ever in franchise history there. So that always has to come to an end. And now you have this to look at, and you should be actually kind of happy and looking forward to it. So.
Yeah. End of an era, I think, with Big Ben in Pittsburgh. I think he's coming up on his last season. Speaking of end of an era, Phillip Rivers announced his retirement. We thought he was going to return to Indy. He wanted to. I know there was mutual interest, but he decided to hang up his spikes and his helmet. So hats off to him and a great career with San Diego, LA, and the Indianapolis Colts. So I always liked Phillip. I think he gets a lot of bad credit out in San Diego, or even in LA, but he's a good quarterback. He was consistent. Consistent at throwing picks sometimes, but he was consistent. He was always going to be on the field, no matter if he was injured or not. He never missed a game. He left it all out there. He was a huge competitor, and a lot of players regarding him as one of the smartest QBs to ever play against.
Yeah.
I know he didn't win a Super Bowl or an MVP or anything, but he still had an amazing career. And I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, in my opinion.
Most definitely. He's going to be the first Hall of Famer to never go to a Super Bowl as a quarterback. He's for, and it's sad to say, but he's going to be, I don't know when in the future this will ever happen again, but he is going to be the best quarterback to never reach a Super Bowl in his career and have those kind of numbers. There's no other quarterback that can do it. Like you said, he was a great captain. I love his clean trash talk, dadgummit, shoot, and all that stuff. And what's funny is if you haven't listened to it, listen up to him mic'd up. It's the funniest thing. I love it when he goes they try to get him on a quick snap, but they're trying to get the offsides from the defense there. And one of the players on the defense moved, and he goes, he turned a corner on you. I'm just oh my gosh. But no, hats off to him. He's going to go into coaching for high school. It's something he's always wanted to do. I think he'll be great. And now he gets to spend family time with all of his kids and everything like that.
Yeah, so, all of his kids.
All of his kids. So, but no, hats off to him. He had a great career. He doesn't owe football a thing. Neither does Drew Brees if he calls it quits too. So
Yeah,
We'll
there's
see.
a reason we haven't talked about Drew Brees because he's never.
Nobody knows.
He hasn't called his retirement yet.
And
so
I
he
don't
doesn't know.
like it. I don't like it when players do. I know it's a big decision because that's their career. I get it. But it's like you should have some of this stuff kind of like important stuff kind of mapped out way before. This is like, okay, I've had a great career. I'm set for life, all this stuff. Move on. And now you're just sitting there building anticipation for everybody. And then you're not only doing it to yourself, you're hurting your franchise because I mean, granted, I think they're talking to one another about the decision and everything, but now they're waiting on you to see, okay, what do we got to draft? What do we have to look for in free agents and everything like that? So you're hurting that as well. So
yeah, it's really putting a hold on decision making for a football team. So I agree with you on that. But hats off to Phillip Rivers, great career, which leads us to upcoming free agents that are going to be on the board after the Super Bowl. There's a lot on this list. So Chris, I'm going to go through all these names that I've written down. There's I think 20.
Am I in the hot seat? I'm in the hot seat.
You're in the hot seat.
Because I did it to you last episode with MLB free agents. So
yeah. Okay. So we're going to start off with Juju coming up first.
Juju. Oh man. Not the top wide receiver in free agency, I don't think. One of top 10 at least in the free agents, but where does he go is what you're asking, or how much is he signing for is what you're saying?
Where does he go?
Where does he go? Juju stays in Pitt.
Okay.
Juju stays in Pitt.
All right. What about Villanueva?
Another Steeler. Goes to Washington.
Okay.
Washington. They need a big man, so.
James Conner.
Oh, that's such a tough decision because he's so injury prone, but you've seen what he can do when he's legit healthy. But I mean, he was healthy somewhat this year too, and it wasn't that great. But a team that needs a really, I would put him as a backup, honestly, for, it's so tough. This is going to sound random. I think he goes to KC.
Okay.
I think he goes to KC. I know they have Le'Veon Bell and Williams there who are phenomenal, but I think one of them's going to go. I think Le'Veon Bell is going to go. And then I think they bring in James Conner.
Okay. All right. Here's a big one. Coming off a pretty bad injury this past season, Dak Prescott.
If Indy is smart, they give him all the money, and like you said, he just came off a gruesome injury.
Yeah.
And do you really want to pay him that much? I say yes. And I'm saying 4 years, $100 million, so 25 a season, with incentives of how many games he plays. So, he has that incentive. He's like, I got to play through, not through injuries, but, I can't get hurt and all that stuff. And then you could also tag some stuff where, 25 mil a season is actually not a lot for a great quarterback like he is. And you have that extra money to get other things too, which Indy already has a great defense. I would say you don't need anything on defense. I think offensively, you don't need a running back, but maybe Doyle needs a backup or a wide receiver in the slot, something like that.
Yeah. That it also brings us to another free agent pending for the Colts is T.Y. Hilton. So they can use that money to sign him, or else where do you think he goes? Let's jump to T.Y.
I don't think he comes back. He hasn't been very productive the last 2 seasons there.
He's been injured a lot.
He's been injured. I will say that he has been injured, but he is getting up in years and everything like that. He's done great in Indy throughout his career there. I think he goes to Tennessee. He goes to Tennessee. Okay. Yeah.
Great. Arrival. Awesome.
Yeah. It's either that or I'm picking the Jets. I think he might go to the Jets only because they have so much money they can throw at him, and they might kind of throw it at him.
Yeah. All right. Chris Godwin.
Chris Godwin stays in Tampa.
Yeah.
He's got another year of Tom Brady. If they don't do it this year, he's going to try again next year.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to sign a long-term deal there. So.
Okay. Allen Robinson.
Oh man, I want to say he stays in Chicago, but I think he goes to Green Bay.
Ooh, another.
Yeah, I think he goes to Green Bay.
Signing. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Golladay.
He does not stay in Detroit. He goes
No
to
one
the
wants to stay in
He
Detroit.
goes to the AFC. He goes to Miami Dolphins.
Miami, okay.
Yeah, he goes to Miami. These are all gut. Okay, if for some reason all this gets right, I think ESPN will be calling us for a show on their station. So
yeah, let's hope. That'd be great. Trent Williams.
Trent Williams. Ooh, big tackle. He had great career in San Fran. As much as I'm going to say it, he goes to Seattle because we need it bad.
Okay.
And it's a rival too, so we'll see. We'll see.
Anthony Harris.
Great safety in Minnesota. I think he's seeing the downfall in Minnesota. I don't think he wants to stay there anymore. I'm gonna say Denver.
Okay.
Denver.
Will Fuller.
Detroit. I'm saying Detroit. Yeah.
Okay. Hunter Henry.
Stays in Chargers. He stays with the Chargers.
Richard Sherman.
Oh man, I know he doesn't want to retire, and he won't. San Fran won't give him the money. I gotta go into deep thought. Can we come back to that one?
Yeah, let's go back.
Let's come back to that one.
Ryan Fitzmagic.
I think stays in Miami.
I think he stays there too.
I hope he does. He's a great coach too. So,
Desmond King.
Great corner. Chargers would like to keep him, but he's going to KC.
Wow.
Yeah.
Another division rival.
Either that or Indy. I could see Indy taking him.
Yeah, that'd be great. Corey Davis.
Corey Davis goes to Jacksonville.
Urban Meyer. Clowney
needs to just get a job.
Don't we all? I need one.
I think he needs to lower the amount he wants. That's the main problem. And you know what? He's great. He did great in his one season in Seattle. I wouldn't mind seeing him there again. He's got close ties with the franchise. He liked it there. It's just the money he's asking for is way too much. I think he goes back to Seattle.
Okay. Jameis Winston.
Jameis.
Yamas.
I think that all depends on Drew Brees.
Yeah, I think with his decision, it really puts a hold
depends
for
on
the
Drew
Saints.
Brees. I mean, if you are New Orleans, though, he's not going to be asking for a lot. You know, he was just a backup for the whole year. I mean, he's not going to. I think he stays in New Orleans. I think he does.
Okay.
Or he goes to New England. New England's on the hunt. So.
Yeah. Speaking of New England, let's go to Cam Newton then.
Cam Newton. I know New England fans loved him, even though he didn't put up great numbers and stuff like that. You know, it's rebuild mode in New England compared to what they usually have, of course. That rebuild mode there is not like a big deal to most of the teams.
It's not a teardown. It's not a complete teardown.
No, it's not. It's not like that. I think in like two seasons max, it'll take them to kind of come back to where they are.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he goes to Chicago.
I had him going to Chicago last year, but I think even though you said they're not going to get rid of Trubisky, but
I don't think they are.
Cam Newton's on the board. Let's.
But it's like you saw what happened when they had two starters, right? And then Trubisky got really bad, and they put in Nick Foles. And Nick Foles did great, and then Nick Foles started, and then got hurt, and then Trubisky came in, did phenomenal. So they might want that back because I don't think they're going to get Nick Foles back.
Yeah.
So I think Cam Newton would be, because Trubisky is not a running quarterback. Cam Newton is. So if you can do like a wildcat there or something like that, you know, and Cam Newton's not afraid to get hit. He's a big quarterback. If you need that 4th and 1, 4th and goal, whatever it may be, he's not going to see as much time as he did in New England. Yeah. But I think he would be a good fit there.
Okay. Antonio Brown
does not stay with Tampa Bay. That's so hard because there's a lot of places that need a wide receiver. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if Jacksonville starts taking in players like with Urban Meyer and everything. I could see him going to Jacksonville.
And if
Jacksonville
they,
right now is like in rebuild mode. Like they're really bad, but they have so much money, so they did it right. They have the first pick. They have so much money. It's like they're doing it right, and it's just a matter of who they're going to pay and who they're going to draft.
Yeah.
So
having Antonio Brown there, if they draft Trevor Lawrence, it's going to be pretty fun to watch.
he gets a good target. You know, he can, and then I feel like they're going to bring in more free agents on the offensive side than defense. I think that's how it's going to go, just to help Trevor Lawrence.
They could also bring in T.Y. Hilton. Who knows?
That's true. And for all you folks out there, yes, we're saying Trevor Lawrence does get drafted first overall. So
you're saying Antonio Brown to Jacksonville?
Jacksonville, yeah.
Okay. Andy Dalton, who had an okay season filling in for Dak.
That's not okay.
I mean, it's the
okay.
Cowboys.
It's not okay. It's not okay.
It's not okay.
What is it? The dog in the fire? This is fine.
This is fine.
You know, Andy Dalton, man, is just so I don't know what to even say. I think he goes into another backup role, and I think he goes to the Giants.
Okay.
I think Jones needs a break every now and then. He did really well, you know. Jones did this year, which is good to see. And if Saquon comes back, that's a scary team.
I could see him going to the Jets too.
Oof.
I
don't know.
Who knows?
We'll see. It's gonna be interesting.
All right, last one. Shaquille Griffin.
He made a Pro Bowl with Seattle. So he did his job there. Had his moments of just like, I don't know. Sometimes he's a very zone corner, not very man-to-man. Sometimes that kind of bites you in the butt because you're giving up so many yards just to make the tackle. I don't think he comes back to Seattle. I think he goes to San Fran. I think him and Richard Sherman are not going to flip-flop, but he's going to fill Richard Sherman's shoes, which brings us back to Richard Sherman. And I'm thinking he goes to Detroit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Detroit. We'll check back in a few weeks after the season ends.
No, let's just check back as soon as the first game starts, and we'll see. Okay, this worked out here. This worked out there.
Yeah, we could do that too.
I would count it as a win if my prediction was in the same division of the team they signed for.
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, this is just a gut feeling, and also predicting really early without like a lot of rumors out there.
It's so hard. It's so hard. But
So-
that's what's fun about sports. You don't know what's going to happen
Yeah.
next. So
Don't know what's gonna happen.
life's like a box of chocolates.
We went from pick those teams or pick the players for those teams to pick'ems for this
It
week's
comes. No, you go
championship
first.
game.
You go first.
All right, first match we got Buffalo and Kansas City. With this one, I know Mahomes, he's gonna be back. I'm gonna go against you, and I'm picking Buffalo. I think Buffalo's gonna take Kansas City down.
You and Jonathan, our last guest, you guys are making people lose money. And it's sad to say, Brian, you were 4-0 last weekend, and now you're making this prediction. So I don't know what's going on in the gears in the head there. Like I always said, hold my beard because Casey's going to the ship again.
Okay, you pick KC.
Yes.
Buffalo's just really good. I know we've said it a lot in the
They're
last
great.
few podcasts.
They're not good
great.
enough.
I just think I think they can take Kansas City.
No.
I think even with a healthy Mahomes, they're going to take them down. It's going to be a fun game.
Brian, I'm going to be texting you and probably FaceTiming you throughout the whole game, and I'm going to be like this. I told you. And then you're going to be like, you were right. But then if for some reason Buffalo does this Bills Mafia magic, whatever you call it,
Yeah?
then I will call you and be like, you know what? Maybe you should go into the sports betting world.
I've done it once, and I made like $300.
That's good.
Put $5 down.
But I don't think KC has it, or Buffalo doesn't have it. Sorry, I didn't mean to jinx that. That was bad.
Uh-oh.
KC's got this. They've got this.
I'm not taking that out. We're not editing that.
To the ship.
All right. NFC. I think we're on the same page with this pick.
Yes.
We got Bucks, Packers. I'm going Packers.
Going Packers. Good job for Tom Brady for taking Tampa Bay that far. Aaron Rodgers winning MVP this year and just how much of a juggernaut the Green Bay Packers system is right now, nothing can stop them for this game. Plus, it's in Green Bay and they're going to have fans and it's going to be freezing, even though Tom is used to that. I mean, he played like that in New England, but
Yeah.
I just don't see them beating Green Bay. Green Bay is really good, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Green Bay beat whoever wins the AFC. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I think they're going all the way. I know Jonathan said don't bet against the GOAT until he proves him wrong, but
I mean, you got two goats. That's not. This game is two goats.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is taking this.
If you look at it, though, it's so funny. It's like people say Tom Brady's the GOAT. I get it. He has all these rings. I get it. He's won the Super Bowls and everything like that. Aaron Rodgers has better stats. Aaron Rodgers has better stats. If he prolongs his career as Tom Brady does, he will be on track to beat all of Tom Brady's stats. So do you call him the GOAT or do you call Tom Brady the GOAT?
There's so many GOATs in any sport. There's so many GOATs. LeBron's a GOAT. MJ's a GOAT. Kobe's a GOAT. There's so many
with
GOATs,
that one though,
with
that one though, I don't think you could put LeBron James as a GOAT yet. I don't think so. Kobe, yes. Kobe's clutch. MJ, yes, because he knows how to. He's a field general. He knows, or a court general, whatever you want to call it. He knows how to play. LeBron James, I like him. I like him as he's one of the all-time greats. But is he a GOAT? We'll leave that for the fans.
He's a GOAT. Okay.
No way.
Talk about.
I don't hear. I hear him James. Moo more than bah. You know.
No. All right. Go from LeBron James transitioning to the NBA. Lakers win their 8th game on the road. They are undefeated on the road. Hence why I'm wearing a Laker jersey today. Pretty awesome. They're still the team to beat. I think even with the big 3 out in Brooklyn, Lakers in 5. Let's go. Speaking of Brooklyn, Kyrie's back. That's the news. I read that he apologized to every teammate and just needed a break a little bit. He took another day off to kind of get back into game mode for basketball. And he played. Him, Harden, and KD all played. And they lost. They're all offense.
and they lost.
They're all offense and no defense.
It is.
Really need to pick up that defense. It's scary.
They lost
you
their
score
big man
130.
too.
Yeah, you score 130, but you lose one by 6 points. Man, you can't be doing that. So they need to play more defense.
Cleveland's not the same team they were last year. They are a lot better. But yeah, it's still Cleveland, and you have the top 2 shooters and probably the best ball handler there is in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
You have no excuse to lose.
I mean, given
double overtime,
Yeah, given on Wednesday went double overtime, I'm just going to say that. But Kyrie, 37, Durant, 38 points, Harden, 21 points. He had a triple-double. Even Green had 16. But their defense just Cleveland.
It's not. They got to clean it up. They have to. I mean,
Colin Sexton dropped 42 on them.
That won't happen again. I'm telling you that. I like Colin Sexton. He's a great player. Well, I wouldn't say great player because last year in his rookie year he was awful. But I think he has a lot of talent, But to see that player drop 41 points, there's no excuse for that because I bet you 13 of those or 12 of those shouldn't have gone in because if you would have actually guarded him, he would have been fine.
Yeah, I mean, he shot 55 from the field and he went 5 for 11 from 3-point. But Cleveland, though, that double overtime game, talk about revenge game for Allen and Prince. They both get double-digit points off the bench. Dotson scores 15. So, looking at the box score here, Cleveland had 3 guys off the bench in double digits.
Yep. I think that's where a big thing is too, is Brooklyn doesn't have depth. They gave up a lot of players for their stuff. It's not only defense, but it's depth. And their bench in Cleveland outscored Brooklyn's bench like it was nothing. It was sad. And that goes to show you that defense wins games and depth wins games. Okay, I get in basketball it's the most points wins. That's with any sport mainly. But, how do you stop from the other team scoring as many points? Well, your star players are going to get tired. You need depth. you need defense to stop those good players on the court too. So it's just like you can have all these superstars that are offensive gurus and all like that on the court, but it's not, I would say 50-50, it's not going to work half the time.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, Kyrie looked good. Going back to what Kyrie looked like, he looked good from being out for a while.
For being out for over a week, he looked amazing.
Yeah, his ball handles were there. He squashed the bug with his teammates. Hopefully he can regain some fan confidence in him and how that whole situation happened and everything like that. But he did look good. He did look good. So.
Yeah, that's all we got really for basketball. I know we've been talking Nets lately, but they're the team to watch because they got the big three out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that leads us to hockey. So, Chris, segue with the NHL.
Oh, boy. As you can see, I'm repping the team, the best team, probably like 4 years ago.
Not the Flyers, who are going to win the cup.
I like them. I mean, I know when to pick a team to like for a season, to watch and to watch them win, but to love, that's all in Sharks territory. So with that, though, I will say this. Vegas has looked phenomenal. I mean, they have outscored their opponents. They have outskated their opponents. The goaltending's great. They're 4-0. They look like the first year Vegas came as a team. It's kind of scary because the Western Conference is so weak and there's no team, I don't think, that can keep up with Vegas at their tempo. So watch out for the Knights to basically be the team to go to the Stanley Cup for the Western Conference. I wouldn't be surprised at that. Either that or Edmonton. I think Edmonton can pull this out too.
Yeah, I mean, Edmonton, they're 2-3.
Yeah, they'll turn it around.
Minnesota's looking good. They're 3-1.
I don't think it'll last.
No,
I don't think so. It's just the Western Conference is so weak, and I just see Vegas taking and running with that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Until Seattle comes to the picture.
No, in points, they're tied for first with.
They have 17,
Montreal.
Right? Well, they have 8 points, but they have 17 goals right now, which is a 9-goal difference from what they have against them, which is insane through only 4 games.
They're +9, so
it's ridiculous. And it's just like, okay, they are playing great defense and they're playing great offense, so you can't really beat them. That's why they're 4-0. But also, going to the Eastern Conference, like I always say, Philly looks good. They've been on a little skid lately. They had an overtime loss their last game. They did get their first loss the game before. So Philly's in a little rough spot, but don't worry. Philly's going to be just fine, folks. Flyers are going to the Cup. I'm calling it. But they have to get through Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is still 4-0, and they're coming off a Stanley Cup victory. They have the same roster, so it's like nothing's changed. They knew it worked, and they figured it out, and they're keeping everybody. But the Eastern Conference is a lot more difficult than the Western Conference, so Tampa Bay is going to have their struggles. So is Philly. So those losses that Philly gets or Tampa Bay gets or any top team in the East gets, I wouldn't worry about it because you're playing the better teams. That's how I would look at it as a fan. So, but with that, also Montreal and Washington, still really good. They just are not clutch in overtime. I think they both have 2 overtime losses already, but it's like, you're missing out on that 1 point, and that 1 point could come and bite you in the point standings and everything like that. So they need to start figuring it out in overtime. I know they're probably tired and all that stuff because they're going to so many periods now. They've gone to so many 4-period games and everything. It's just like, okay, they need a break somewhere down the line, but I think they look good. And then New Jersey hasn't been the greatest, but New Jersey has a lot of promise. They're so full of youth there, and Hughes looks great. I mean, it's just like New Jersey drafted the right players and picked up the right players, and they just need to kind of put it all together. I think either this year or next year, they're going to make playoffs. So I would expect that. But that's all I got for NHL. It's been exciting so far.
We're a weekend.
It's a weekend, but like I said, if you don't watch it or anything like that, be a Sharks fan. I know we're not the greatest, but we just need the fan base. We're great. If you go to the stadium, it's great. It's so much fun. Even if you go to any hockey game, it's so much fun to go. So
yeah, hockey live is an experience.
It is. Great. It's great. I love it. But with that, I don't have any more NHL news for the folks listening. So
I got nothing.
And I think
All
we're
right.
done.
See you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
No, like we always say, let's have Brian take it away since he started off. So close it out.
All right, everyone. Like us on Facebook, Thorium Partners Podcast. We're on Instagram. Just did a nice story tribute to Hank Aaron on there, so check that out. Leave us a comment, leave us a review, follow us on YouTube, so you'll see us. If you want to watch us visually on YouTube, we're in our jerseys. You can go do that. But yeah, if you have anything that we can work on, or you want us to talk about something different, something else, a different sports team that you might like. I know we don't really dabble into all sports. I know there's a lot of soccer fans out there. So if you want us to talk about soccer, we will try our best.
I've heard NASCAR too. I'm just like,
Ooh,
we might have to bring on some more people onto our show and hire them or something.
NASCAR. Yeah, we could. I mean, I can drive.
Can you drive
I got my
250?
license.
Can you drive 250?
My Accord doesn't go that fast.
Oh, that's a shame. I thought it was a V6.
It is. It doesn't go that fast though. But yeah, leave us a comment. Slide into our DMs with any recommendation that you have for us. Just want to let everyone know, be safe out there, be kind. Also, have a great weekend. Enjoy the weekend.
That is true. It is Friday. Well, I'm just going to piggyback on what Brian said. Of course, be healthy, be kind to one another. It's official. We are in the new presidential era of Joe Biden. So we'll see what things can go on in this nation. Maybe we can turn some things around, turn a lot of the hate into love. So, like I said, always be kind, be healthy, stay safe out there, make the right choices. Going into this weekend, always have a plan. Like I was told throughout my career, always have a plan for your weekend, so nothing bad happens or anything like that. But with that, like Brian said, also for all the listeners or watchers or viewers or whatever you may be, like, share, subscribe, listen, help us out, because we can't just do it all for ourselves. We need your guys' help to put us out there, put us on the map so we can get famous because of you guys, and then we're going to make you famous is what's going to happen. You can be on the show, and if you would like to be on the show, you could always drop in a comment. Always let us know. We are open to anybody on this show as long as your time matches our time. We can make it work. So
yeah, we'll welcome to have anyone on, whether you love sports or hate sports. Like, we're just happy to have people to talk to.
Exactly. We're very sociable butterflies. That's what we are.
Make new friends.
Make new friends. So with that, everybody, thank you again for listening. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys. Everybody love everybody.